Okay.
It's up to you guys. I'm not.
Go for it. Good afternoon. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'll stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Commissioners, we are in South Abington Township. Commissioner Victoriani, if you want to.
Well, I'd like to thank the officials in South Abington for giving us an opportunity to come here. Chairman of the Board of Supervisors, Mr. Stanton, Vice Chairman, Mr. Doherty, Supervisor Don Snyder, Township Manager David O'Neill, Township Secretary Joanne Payne, and Solicitor Bill Jones. This is the third of the four required readings of the budget message. And on that note, we will turn it over to Mr. Jeffers.
Thank you, Commissioner Victoriani. Once we read the budget's message, we'll open up the floor
Yes.
for the Commissioners to take any comments or questions from the public.
Yep.
Lackawanna County's 2022 budget message. The year 2021 can be characterized as a truly different era in Lackawanna County's government. Traditional economic development activities, community reinvest funding, law enforcement initiatives, programs to assist families and older adults, and some community events were all coordinated with safety as the underlying current. The main focus was the health and welfare of all county residents. The ultimate concern was to combat the very stubborn COVID-19 virus. The Commissioners committed $1 million in CARES Act funding to the Area Agency on Aging Department to protect the county's 210,000 residents against the virus. A comprehensive plan was developed and executed with a variety of concerned partners to accomplish this task. Testing and vaccination of older adults in 13 high-rises and communal living facilities began in late December 2020 and has never stopped. Medical delivery was also provided to the homebound, ensuring their safety. A major ad campaign was developed to spread factual data on the perils of the virus and the importance of getting vaccinated. The Commissioners have and continue to encourage residents to get vaccinated for their safety, as well as the safety of family, friends, and other residents of Lackawanna County. Lackawanna County partnered with Family Services Association of NEPA to expand the 211 services in order to provide vital testing data and, more importantly, assistance for securing an appointment to get vaccinated. Strong alliances were forged with area pharmacies, healthcare providers, social service agencies, nurses, nursing students, and other groups to provide food, tests, vaccines, transportation, and a host of other amenities for people to survive and stay healthy. Lackawanna County joined the Kick COVID-19 Consortium to deliver even more services and information. Over 45 public clinics at community venues were held to provide convenient vaccinations for residents. The March 2021 clinic with Hometown Health at the Montage Amphitheater drew over 3,600 people, along with the accolades from Governor Tom Wolf. Record-keeping on the vaccination distribution was vital to ensure Lackawanna County received a continuous supply of vaccines. We joined forces with the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce, area colleges, and other affiliates to develop a program for inputting data, thereby removing the burden from small pharmacies so they could focus on vaccinating residents. Additional clinics with various initiatives are still being held, focusing on ethnic and faith communities and high school youth. Civic functions like Give Back on the Mountain were also scheduled. The virus did not overlook any segment. Residents and businesses suffered great economic loss, resulting in the loss of jobs, cutbacks, and reduced hours. To that end, the Departments of Aging, Human Services, and Economic Development offered programs for rent, utilities, and mortgage relief with CARES Act resources. A variety of business initiatives and grants were also developed and implemented. The county received tremendous news this March when the Commonwealth approved the Department of Health designation for Lackawanna County. This has opened the door to numerous resources and services to keep people well and active. In mid-July, the county hired an epidemiologist and then adopted ordinance number 272 in August, establishing the Department of Health and Human Services. This allowed for the creation of a community board and the hiring of a director in the future to run the operation. All the aforementioned actions led to the current 76% fully vaccinated rate for all eligible residents. In addition to fighting COVID, the Departments of Human Services and Aging administer their traditional services, and Human Services continue to aid the homeless. The family unit is and will always be a vital concern. Opioid treatment for youth was funded by a grant to get teens back on the road to recovery and a normal life. Suicide is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. It affects people of all ages and socioeconomic backgrounds. It is also no stranger to our community. To that end, the Lackawanna County Suicide Prevention Alliance was formed to provide assistance to individuals and families who are dealing with this issue. The Area Agency on Aging is also dedicated to the health of our older adults, as witnessed by the numerous wellness contracts that were approved for exercise, social activities, nutrition, and much more. This department has also entered into a new 5-year agreement with the state for over $5 million annually to develop cutting-edge initiatives which will make a difference in the lives of many individuals. While a great deal of focus in 2021 centered on mitigating the virus, the vision for new growth and opportunities did not cease. The Commissioners acted swiftly to bolster the economy through a number of grant programs aimed at assisting businesses from all sectors. Over $2 million was invested in the local hospitality industry. This spring, the very popular Community Reinvest program awarded 21 grants totaling $101,338 for projects throughout the county. CDBG funds were again provided to the municipalities for projects aimed at improving infrastructure. In addition, CDBG funds were used to fund a mortgage utilities COVID-19 assistance program. Low-income first-time homebuyers also received support with resources for closing costs. Because the music and entertainment industry was hit hard by the pandemic, the Department of Economic Development provided up to $25,000 in music grants to assist performers to get back on their feet. Fair and equitable property taxes has long been discussed. For too long, under the current system, many residents have been overburdened. For over 50 years, everything has remained static due to the outdated assessed property values. To that end, an RFP was sent out in midsummer seeking a firm to conduct a countywide reassessment to establish a fair, equitable, and uniform tax structure. The safety of the community continues to be a major priority. Grants for bulletproof vests and a civil disturbance unit were unitized to further enhance security in our area. Continuing education is essential in all fields, especially public safety. Training was offered by Penn State for our sheriffs and parole and probation officers. Our broadband and 911 databases were upgraded to provide more information for those who use the network, which translates into faster response time to assist those in need. The prison is another important element in county law enforcement. It has undergone an administrative restructuring that has streamlined duties to be more effective in the areas of security, treatment, and operations. Changes were necessary to ensure the enforcement of the county's chain of command policies and protocols. Preparing a prisoner for his or her return to community life is vital, especially if it pertains to successful reentry into our community and the reduction of recidivism. To assist with that transition, a behavioral health department was created at the Lackawanna County Prison. This has enabled staff to provide one-on-one clinical counseling with inmates, as well as group programming, which centers on self-help topics. In partnership with Lackawanna College's Police Academy, a community awareness program for law enforcement agencies was developed. The 4-part series focused on critical issues including racial profiling, de-escalation training, substance abuse issues, and mental health disorders and awareness. The COVID-19 virus brought a grinding halt to all community activities. Under the guidance of Governor Wolf and the CDC, the county's Arts and Cultural Department awarded a series of grants to help organizations and agencies with the difficulties of the reopening process. Over $145,000 in program grants were awarded, along with spring and summer COVID-19 grants in excess of $236,000. The traditional $500 municipal grants were also given out on a periodic basis. Our parks opened up for residents to picnic, recreational activities, and family gatherings. Additionally, the Scranton Ballet conducted a novel beach event at Covington Park. The county's transportation network remains a vital element in the Commissioner's economic landscape. Paving projects and bridge repairs and replacements were funded by the Commissioners. The Commissioners recognize the importance of providing public transportation so that our residents can conveniently get to work, school, and medical appointments. In early spring, the Commissioners extended the certificate of incorporation for Colts for 50 more years, ensuring that the bus fleet will continue to provide uninterrupted services for our residents. The county's debt position. The county's been able to mitigate its annual expenditures for debt service by taking advantage of favorable interest rates. The savings from the refinancings of 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021 allowed the county, without extending the maturity of any of the refinanced bonds, to maintain its annual debt service in a manageable range. The county will continue to be diligent when seeking further opportunities to restructure its long-term debt. The county's financial policies for 2022. In 2022, the commissioners will again be conservative and demonstrate fiscal responsibility, restraint, management when addressing the county's financial challenges. The administration will continue to commit their commitment to addressing the constant challenges facing county government on numerous fronts, especially in the area of its workforce. Personnel-related expenses such as salaries, wages, and health care comprise of 65.77% of the county's general fund budget, net of tax transfers out. Important features of the budget. In 2022, the general fund budget includes no property tax increase. Many man-hours went into the preparation of the county's 2022 fiscal blueprint. Its goal is to service the 210,000 residents. The budget reflects no cuts in programs that our communities and residents rely on. The budget also contains provisions for our parks, human services programs, aging initiatives, environment, and spraying for gypsy moths and black flies, while also monitoring for various other pests. We continue to meet the challenges of an ever-changing society by doing more with less in a fiscally responsible manner. It is vital to secure public input on this financial plan. The budget hearings are the perfect venue for the public to provide the commissioners with ideas which they can review and implement where possible to help cut expenses further and to generate additional revenue. The cost to run the county government and its various programs is substantial. A prime example is the prison. A great deal of revenue is expended for staff programs, medical treatment supplies, and other ancillary services. The prison restructuring and changes relating to security treatment and operations were implemented for this very reason and will continue to operate as efficiently as possible. Reasons for the major financial policy expenditure and revenue changes from the 2021 budget. Due to continued pressure from shrinking federal and state funding, collectively bargained wage and benefit increases, and the rising law enforcement costs, the county's 2022 budget will exceed the 2021 budget. During 2021, the county was able to capitalize on a significant surplus in its debt service fund. Since the debt service fund surplus was depleted, the county will need to transfer additional funds from the general fund to the debt service fund for 2022. As previously noted, the human service area continues to be the main priority of programs offered by county government. In addition to that sector, emergency response, the court system, and other vital functions will comprise the majority of the county's 2022 expenditures. The county's budget overviews for 2022. The 2022 general fund budget totals are $148,406,629. The 2022 debt service budget totals are $19,491,214. And the 2022 special purpose fund budgets total $81,029,657. This budget message was respectfully submitted on the 15th day of October, 2021, pursuant to Section 1.12-1203 of the Lackawanna County Home Rule Charter. Madam Commissioner?
Did you have an opportunity to do this?
Jerry did.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Hi, do you want to come up to the microphone, please? Hi.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for letting me have this opportunity. My name is Charlie Spano. I live in Scranton. I am fully vaccinated, so I'm going to put my mask over there. I have a couple of questions about this proposed car tax, the $5 fee to be imposed. I didn't see it in the message referenced at all, so hopefully it is not yet rock solid. It hasn't been voted, the budget hasn't been voted on, so I assume it's not been levied. What I would like to do is ask a couple questions about it first. Is this $5 fee the only way the county would get matching funds from the state for the proposed infrastructure projects. So in other words, if you didn't do the
No, I know what you
fee,
mean.
if
I
you
mean-
didn't,
The answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
the answer is yes.
I thought you had more questions. I was going to
Oh,
answer
I
them when
do.
you're finished.
I have a couple. Is this a fee that would be on all but only residential vehicles? Or does this include any vehicle, no matter its age, or whether it's attached to a business that is registered in Lackawanna County?
To my knowledge, it's any vehicle in Lackawanna County.
It would be up to PennDOT too. There are certain vehicles, like antique vehicles, that PennDOT does not
Right.
make you
Yeah,
pay
I
registrations
thought
for. So it will fall under whatever the guidelines that PennDOT puts in place.
But Mike Carroll, who's a state rep, who deals closely with PennDOT, estimated based upon I don't remember the amount of vehicles, but based upon the amount of vehicles that he anticipated would count, that we would generate somewhere around $850,000.
Right, well, that was,
that answer for you.
Brian's comment in the newspaper was $950 with a match from the state program.
$850.
$850.
I mean, and that's an estimate. We won't know until we,
So the other part of this is, assuming this were to happen, that every vehicle in Lackawanna County, with few exceptions, would have this tax imposed, is there an end to the program when the matching and the infrastructure has been done? For example, I think the figure was $4 million.
$2 million that they can match.
Well, 2 million max that they would match, providing we generated the balance.
Right.
What happens when that happens?
So
Does it go away, is what I'm
I have to
getting
do
to.
math in my phone because I'm
Okay.
a little clueless here.
So the
Okay,
tax doesn't
so-
go away.
Right, so basically, say for year one, just say it's round number, $850,000. They'd match $850,000. And we have to use it for 20 feet and over bridges only.
Mm-hmm.
Year two, say it was $850, and they matched $850. Again, only for bridges over 20 feet. And then year three, it would be 2 million minus the 850 and the 850. They would only have to contribute $300,000 to match it. So if we generated again 850, they would match the remaining $300,000 from the 2 million. Do you know what I'm saying?
What I think you're saying is that the maximum amount in consecutive years that the county could get from the state
Is
would
$2
be
million.
$2 million.
Right, so
And
that's-
any local, sorry,
And so in year three, no, I'm sorry, let me explain
Well,
this to you.
any-
So in year three, they would match, say, assuming my
A
numbers were correct.
declining amount.
Right, they would, well, it depends on the amount of how much, we're basing this on 850, okay. So in year three, assuming it was 850 again, and they already contributed 850 the 2 years before,
Right.
they would match 300. So our first 300 and their 300, so $600,000 would be able to be used only for bridges over 20 feet. But anything that we generate beyond that, the county, we can use then for our bridges that are under 20 feet. We have a total of 154 bridges in this county. And for paving, and we have 36 miles, right, Brian, of roadway. So then we can use it for the smaller projects. And we can end it, the county can opt out of it at any time.
Yes.
what about provisions for increasing the amount? Instead of $5, maybe it would be 6 or 7 or 10
I
as
can
time
answer
goes
that,
on.
Charlie. We cannot increase it, and equally so, we cannot decrease it. It's an amount that's set statutorily by PennDOT, so unless PennDOT at the state level or the legislature makes that change, if you opt in at 5, you must charge 5, and you cannot accept any less nor charge any more.
So in a $148 million plus budget, which has no real estate tax increase, it was not or would not be possible to find $1 for every 148 that the county could use locally without imposing this tax?
Well, let me just comment on what the bridges are. So at this point, I believe our engineers have isolated 18 bridges at 20 feet or over. The average amount of money for each one of those bridges is about $1.2 million now. Some are $2 million, some are $800,000, you understand. The reality of it is that If we pay the engineers to design all 18 of those bridges, that money would have to be paid to the engineering firms. And to start it, we would have to have a full fund balance of about, somewhere in the range of about, on 18 bridges, maybe around $26 million, somewhere in that range, which we certainly do not have in a fund balance that we could just put towards infrastructure.
And there's no possibility of using any of the federal COVID money to
Not at this moment in time.
switch it over?
We've looked at the
Opt
federal
out?
American Relief Act money, and it's not for bridges, it is for sewers or any type of water programming, but it is not, we looked extensively into it, and we cannot use it for reconstructing bridges.
Now, to go back to what you said before about the state law that controls this, are there any exemptions or exceptions for, say, senior citizens?
Not that I'm aware of within the law itself.
Me neither.
Once it,
Could there be?
I don't know if there could be, but I don't know of any. But you have to also understand that this program is technically closed. So because Lackawanna County Express, I don't remember when they closed it, but it's closed. If any other county wanted to try to get into this program with PennDOT, they cannot. They're
Okay.
Lackawanna County expressed interest, so we're kind of grandfathered in. So based upon the number of bridges that we have and the fact that we, the last thing any of us, the three of us want to do is raise taxes, we have to find another way to get our bridges repaired so that people can get their emergency services. And this seemed, in my opinion, the lesser of all evils. It's a one-time fee, it's $5.
Glad you used the word evils.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's evil, but I'm saying, as residents, I understand tax raises, fees, anything like that, everyone is against. But the bottom line is that we have to generate revenue and cut costs, or taxes are going to go up. So we have to look at ways to generate revenue, and this is a way that we could do so to help our bridges.
If I understood Brian's remark accurately, before any bridge repair could be initiated, the money has to be in hand.
Right.
So if the tax were to be imposed this year, no bridge could be touched, theoretically, until the pot was full.
Theoretically, what we're looking at is probably sometime in 2020, late 2022, early 2023.
So we have to hope the bridges stay up until then.
We do.
Aren't we, wouldn't the bond, aren't we doing a bond?
We have to talk about that and discuss it. We haven't even passed the ordinances yet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this comment, and I appreciate Charlie's comments on it, but it's more for a commissioners meeting than a
Yeah.
budget meeting, because this is not included in the
So
budget.
if you
But
want to
answering
just,
his-
December
Fair
1st
enough.
will be the first reading. We had to
Okay.
give PennDOT 90 days, which our solicitor did. December 15th will be the second reading. And at that point, we'll
Well,
entertain a motion.
I
And it'll be
would-
voted on.
In closing, because I don't want to take up a whole lot more time, I just want to encourage you all to go back with the pens and the microscopes and see if you can defray at least 50% of the potential, so that it's not imposed across the board as it is at this point. Thank you.
Mr. Spano, real quick
Sure.
before you go, just so you know, on the average of a bridge replacement right now, because we have to get the money through PennDOT, it takes on average about 5 years from start to finish. In this fashion, even if we started late last year, late next year, or early in 2023, obviously it would be done within a year.
Still got to hope they stay up.
I understand.
All right.
Thank you.
thank you.
Anyone else? Jerry?
Hi, I'm Jerry Carey from Clark Summit Borough, and I was just given notification just before I came here today that our tax collector received notification, I believe it was through Evie McNulty, that the county was not going to be doing the billing for, which they have done previously, for Clark Summit Borough, that we would have to be doing our own mailing and billing of our tax bills. Is this the correct information, or?
I'm not aware of this, Commissioners. I will definitely look into it and call Councilwoman Carey after the meeting.
Okay, yeah, if we can just find that
Yeah,
out, because
of
we're doing our budgeting now too, and this is something we'd have to budget
Absolutely.
for. So,
I said maybe they're getting the issue that we have with Scranton confused, maybe, or something, I don't know.
I'll call down to the building and find out and get an answer to you today.
okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone, I'm sorry, anyone else? Okay, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second? On the question? All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.